So this is a standard clamshell EDC pouch. It's got the elastics, the pockets, it zips shut. You can throw it in your glove compartment, put it in your backpack. You can even put it on your belt if you want to. It's a nice design. I've been using it for about 8 months. It's okay, but I thought I could do better. So what I came up with is what I'm calling a modular EDC kit. So this pouch has standard tool setup in it. You can you can swap out tins on the inside. You can have a survival tin. You can have an herbal tin, an urban tin. You can have a battery pack. I've got a really small, nice one in here that I've converted into having a pouch on it as well. So each component is designed to work on a specific task. You get quick access to it. Anyway, I'm really pleased with the way this thing's come out, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. See you in a bit. So I knew that the size of the pocket rack was about 4.41 inches, and it was almost the same size as the tins I was going to be putting in as well. So I had 2 tins, and 1 rack would fit into the pouch that I wanted to use. So the pouch that I found, took me a while to find it, was this. This is a shotgun shell pouch. It holds 10 rounds on the inside with this elastic band. Now I cut the band out using a razor blade, and what's really nice about this pouch is that it expands. So I can have 1 tin in there if I want to, or I could have 2 tins and a pocket rack in there, or any variation between the two. So this is the pouch that I ended up getting. I got it off of AliExpress. I'll have the link in the description if you want to take a look at it. Another thing about this that's really nice is that I can put it on my belt pretty easily. It's much smaller than a standard pouch. So this is really, really convenient. So with a modular pouch, you'll notice there are no bands inside. There's no pockets in there. There's all of that stuff that was organizational on a standard pouch, just it doesn't exist. It's pretty much a big pocket that you can hook onto things. And what's nice about it is then you have your own organizational tools. So what I've been working with are pocket racks, and you can read more about you can view more about these in previous videos. So here are 2. This is a 3D printed one, and this one was done by hand. So you can see it just has drill holes with little slots that are put in so that you can hook up the elastics and hold your EDC in place. This most recent one has been really nice. There's a lot of information too in the previous videos about how the engineering has gone into making these slots. And so that's one way, and you'll end up with a rack like this. So all of these are silicone bands that are set up. They're very rugged. They've been tested quite a bit, and they hold very, very, very solid. What's really nice about them is that you can easily get your EDC out of the rack very quickly. So the deployment is really, really nice on these. And then another one that I've been working on more recently are taking these Lycra pouches and hooking them up to plastic cards. You can use them almost like a mini wallet. So the Lycra runs about $2 and maybe, I don't know, a buck for the plastic card. And the Lycra sticks onto the card, and you can use it for all sorts of things. You could have credit cards in here. You can have some of your smaller EDC tools on here, and just keep it as a micro EDC thing. But it works great with the pouch. So with the pouch, you can actually store specific types of tools on the pouch and keep it in, just keep it organized. Along the same lines, more recently, I've been taking these micro battery banks. They're about the thickness of a card that I just showed you, and I've been hooking the Lycra pouch up to it. The advantage here is that I can put some of the cables inside the Lycra pouch. There's also a little tiny lamp that I can hook up in here, and what's really nice too is that the cable is built into the card. So this has it's got plenty of power. It'll power up my my iPhone 14 very, very easily. So yeah, I like this a lot. This is something I'm going to be playing with more. And then for all of you who are familiar with the Altoids tins and those little micro tins that go inside of the Altoids tins, these are the bigger version of that. So these are nice and thin. They're about the same size as the pocket racks, and I really like the way these have come together. So you can load them up with as a med kit if you want, as a fire kit if you want, as a survival kit if you want. So you can make this one of the modules that you're putting into your modular pouch. We're going to get into more detail now on the individual tools. See you in a bit. So the reason I carry the pouch and the tools in it is to fix things, is to make life easier for myself, to resolve issues for my family and friends, and maybe even a stranger on the street who just needs a Band-Aid or something. So it's very simple. That's the philosophy behind the tools you're about to see. And we'll get into it in some more detail. Okay, so what you see before you is everything that is in the pouch, that was in the pouch, and now has been spread out here. I've taken the pocket rack apart. Everything from the pocket rack is up on top, and everything that came out of the tin is down here. And then we have the battery bank is right here with the cables and things. So let's start going through this. So we have over here are the WeHa bits. They come in that small tin. There's a bit extender there. This WeHa bit is these bits are from the Technician's 13-bit pack. It looks like it's item number 77781 from WeHa, and they're fantastic. The only problem with them is if you use a standard extender, bit extender, like this one, this isn't standard. This is a little bit longer than a standard one. You can't get the bits to fit in on the double-sided. You need a standard, just the standard bit to go in there. You can't do the double, but this one's long enough where I can use the WeHa bits pretty easily. It's not a problem. The two extra bits I have on the end, those are for my bike, so those are from a different set. The next piece I have here is this micro ratchet. The micro ratchet is from it's from a company that makes Power Torque. I believe they're an automotive company, but these are made in Hong Kong. It's just a really impressive little ratchet set. It's sold under other brands as well. You've probably seen these little micro ratchets before, but this one was made for this automotive company, and I think it ran about $18. So yeah, very, very nice. It gives you some options too with the extender. So you can put the extender in one side like that, and you have a very nice little ratchet. That's how I use it with the WeHa bits. The other option you have too is to put it down here, and that works fantastic as well. So you can just use it as a regular screwdriver. So really nice little unit, very impressive. I've put some pretty major torque on this thing, and it has held up very, very nicely. So highly recommend it. And put this back over here. And then we have the Knipex Cobra, which is just a fantastic pair of pliers. These little water pump pliers are just amazing. So you can open them up, you can close them up very small. When you open them up like this, if you have something large like that, you can get a considerable amount of torque on there to drive this thing around. So it's really cool. I like these a lot. Very nice. Okay, and then we have, I believe this is the Cadet from Victorinox. It's got a little tiny screwdriver on it, file, and then we got your standard little tiny blade, which is very nice. You got your toothpick and your toothpick on this side. Other side tweezers. Great. I got it as a promotion from Crest. I've had it for quite a while. It's one of those things that you've had so long that you start to don't know what to do without it. So that's great. So I'm getting one of those. And then I've got this little storage bottle. So I highly recommend these because you can put all kinds of things in them. And I use this on the rack. So this is one of the units that's on the rack, and it's just you can put pills in it if you need to. Ibuprofen is sometimes what I use it for. You can use it for antacids. You can use it for screws, little nuts, anything that you need for a job you're about to go on to. Just have it in here. It's great. Matches, anything. So these are great, about $2 each. And this is a remarkable little thing, little flashlight. I think it goes up to 400 lumens. It is rechargeable. It has multiple functions. Let me see, I'll go through the lighting here. You can see it gets pretty bright. And then back down. So it has 4 different settings for the brightness. And then if you go turn off, 1, 2, 3, 4, it starts to light up a panel on the side here. And you can go through 1, 2, that's ultraviolet, 3, 4, 5. I use this one for when I'm walking at night. Just hang it from the back of your pants or something, and everybody will see you coming. It's so it's a really nice little unit, and the dim on this is fantastic. I really like that, the moonlight setting. So it does have an O-ring in it. It is pretty water resistant, very water resistant. I've had it totally soaked. I've actually used it as a bicycle light as well, and it holds up for a good long time at the medium setting and low setting. You can probably get quite a few hours out of it before it needs a charge again. But they use a standard, I think this one uses some kind of a standard board, circuit board in it, because other companies are making very, very similar units. Here's one. So you can see it's a little bit larger, and they call them S11. So if you look up S11, you'll probably see a lot of these, S11 flashlight. So I think that's the name of the board that they're using, the S11. But you can see this one's a little bit longer. It's got a larger magnet on the back. It's got a clip on it. This one doesn't. But I like the smaller size. The compact is really nice. So they both have about the same capability as far as the flashlight. But very nice little units. Again, $4 for this one and $4 for the other one, which is amazing to me. Little tiny peanut lighter, very small, compact, and you can put lighter fluid in there, and it has an O-ring built into it, so it will not evaporate like a regular fluid lighter that does not have an O-ring. So you'll probably keep the fluid in there for quite a few months before you have to worry about it. Charging cable. This is a standard knockoff charging cable. It's got all of these different adapters built into it, so you can pretty much charge just about anything. Plugs right into, this is a battery bank. Works really well. I like it, fits right on the board, which is the primary reason I got it, and it has so many functions. It's a great little unit. I think it cost me about $15. Not too bad. And this is the rack with everything off of it. So the Velcro strips are pretty much I have a Velcro adapters I put into it. I also use the Velcro as like a pad. So when I'm putting things onto it, it actually stays firmly in place, which is really nice. Yeah, I like that. Anyway, next thing is the sharpening card. So this has got a medium on one side and a fine on the other. So you can sharpen knives. I use a little bit on that small knife, but I've also sharpened larger knives with it. And then I've got some Gorilla Tape on both sides of this that I use for various purposes. You just strip off what you need, and Gorilla Tape is fantastic. Over here, we have the tin. This is like the little med tin. It's got Band-Aids in it, gauze pads, and a little microfiber cloth. Again, it's pretty narrow, but you can get quite a bit into it. I've got Q-tips over here, little pack of Q-tips, Purell wipe, one Purell wipe in there, and then we've got a little straw full of ibuprofen. It's sealed on both ends, and then some little disinfectant ointment in the tube. Just snip off the end. You can squeeze out what you want to use for the bandages. Little antacids, things like that. nothing Tums. And then we've got a little sewing kit. It's got the safety pins in it, some buttons, and some thread. Nothing too fancy. Again, very basic. And this is really cool. As you know, I wear glasses for reading, and these are just fantastic. So they fold up, open it up there, pull this out, they extend, it's one on each side, and you got yourself a nice little pair of glasses. So these are kind of my backup glasses if anything happens to the ones I'm wearing. And that has happened before, but they're very nice little, very tiny. They fit into everything here. So that's great. Little piece of aluminum foil. I've used this for shading lamps and so they point one direction. I've used them for making circuits and circuit boards. Little pieces of metal like this are really, you know, it's very, very handy. It's a nice little thing to have. And little magnifying glass works really well. You can get usually, I think, like half a dozen of these for a couple bucks, but they're very nice and they fit in the card, in like a wallet, or you know, they're card size. They're very thin. Highly recommend these if you want to considering something for your EDC pouch. Over here, this is the little tiny flat battery bank we were talking about earlier. It's really nice. It's got a little pouch in here. You can use it as a wallet as well. So it's, you know, you put your credit cards in there, some cash if you want. Cables fit in here. I'm usually using this with the cables. And then I use it to charge my phone. You can use it to, again, if you have the adapter with this, you can plug in this little lamp. So the lamp would plug into this. I don't have the adapter, I've ordered it. And you'll have a very, very bright light. Like you could light up a small room pretty easily with just this lamp. It's incredibly bright LED. Let me show you what this looks like. I've got another battery bank over here. This is a pretty big one. And plug this in here. And you just touch it. And it's incredibly bright. Can't tell because I got a very bright light on everything. So this is kind of, but yeah, it's really, really nice. Touched again. It goes up brighter. Touched again, and it goes down. So it's touch sensitive too. It's really cool. Fun little thing to have. Anyway, and then we've got the pouch where everything came in. Zip ties, 2 zip ties, and then I've got this insulated wire, which I use almost like it's like a thinner single strand baling wire. But this is really handy. I highly recommend if you have a little EDC kit to put some wire in there, because I've used this many times more than the zip ties, frankly. And that's about it. It's a pretty neat little kit. I like the way that it's grown and kind of adapted to what I'm doing. It's interesting too to hunt everything down and find things that work well and some things that don't work so well, and just keep on morphing what you have here. And this has been, it's really been enjoyable putting this whole thing together. So as a bonus to you for making it to the end of this video, I put together a 25-second time lapse of me stripping down a dryer and replacing the rollers with the EDC tools that were featured in this video. Enjoy. And if you've got some time, if you leave some comments, that'd be fantastic. If you want to hit the like button, that would be great. Subscribe if you like. They'd all be appreciated. Take care.